level, or is it from the IEBC officials? Let's now bring in my panel of analysts, Martin Ndati and Charles Kipkule. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us. It's been a long time, Martin.
Yeah.
Great to see you here in studio.
Thank you.
All right, let's begin from what Murimi was discussing with me. And does it really matter, and why does it seem to really matter who announces these presidential results with finality? First of all, we're expecting that the whole process is going to be just, it's going to be free and fair. Where the hullabaloo of who is just going to say what with finality, Martin?
You know, the law gives the chair of the IEBC, he's a returning officer of the presidential election. But from the experiences of Tarakaniti, in 2013, there have been fears that there is tampering as the results move from the polling station to the constituency, then from the constituency to the county, then from the county to the national tallying center. So those fears are what informed the decision by Tirop and Khalef and Maina Kiai to go to court. So that decision had to spend quite some time in the High Court. I think the case was filed almost 2 years ago. Then the decision comes out the other day. So the IEBC has a right of appeal, but the opposition is also saying, look, why don't we have the results that these guys announce here as a final, so that what the IEBC is supposed to do is to tally. So that if we know that you got 10,000 votes in a constituency, those numbers don't expand.
Okay.
Because there has been tampering. You saw the Ojamong case in Tesono the other day, 109,000 people voting. You see, to stop those kind of shenanigans, because the people who vote at the polling station, you get the results that were announced at the polling station are not what is at the constituency.
Right.
So to stop those kind of things, that is the decision of the court of constitutional court. But I see that issue ending up at the Supreme Court, the way Murimi has said. Because if they rule that that decision of the Court of Appeal, the High Court does not stand, then naturally, those who are not happy will go to the Supreme Court. But Jubilee has said they will agree with whatever verdict that comes out of...
Whatever verdict.
Whatever decision the 5 bench judges make.
All right.
Yeah.
Charles, why, and I'll ask you something that I asked Marim, why is IBC hell-bent on being, the final announcer, so to speak?
Well, I think the IBC position stems from traditional practice. So for them, they're trying to protect what they feel has been something they've been doing for the longest time, since we've been doing our elections. So for the IBC, they feel that for a very long time, they have been under sustained pressure and attack from probably opposition and other players trying to take away their powers and probably cede more of their ground in the electoral process. So I look at it in terms of, first of all, it's a tough war in terms of control, who is more in charge of the electoral process. But more importantly, I think the IBC is trying to portray an image of independence, of true independence, that as per the regulations that states that the chairman is the national returning officer, then they should be accorded that opportunity to carry out as they've always been doing it. So I look at it essentially as a tough war, and IBC trying to assert its authority as being independent and not ceding too much ground to other players in the electoral process.
But at the same time, the IBC cannot ignore what has happened in the past, and like what Martin was talking about, those skeletons in the closet from way back.
Yeah.
So why would they have a problem with what really would be acceptable on different levels?
Well, that will, by accepting to what opposition is trying to push, and even from the case, then in essence, they'll be validating the claim that the electoral transmission system has no integrity. So,
but even the High Court, as independent as it is, has come out to actually say it is okay for these results to be announced at constituency level.
Well, that is it's a legal matter, but look at the implication in terms of perception to the IBC. If today the High Court rules that they uphold the ruling and say that the elections declared and the results declared, the Court of Appeal, sorry, if they are declared at the constituency level are final, then what implication it gives to the IBC is that the IBC has been having a system where there is a leeway of manipulation of results. So it will cast aspersions on the integrity of the system, especially transmission of results from the